Most people think the military contract is just a signature. You walk into the recruiter's office, you sign, you leave. But the truth is, the contract starts before you ever pick up a pen. The real game begins at a place called MEPS, the Military Entrance Processing Station. And here is what nobody told me. What happened at MEPS will shape your entire career. The tests, the checks, the questions, the little details, they all add up to what jobs you qualify for, what bonuses you earn, and what doors are open to you. Today, I'm going to give you more than the title promise. The title says MEPS Secret. And yes, I'm going to expose the thing recruiters never told me, the things you will not hear until it is too late. But I'm also going to give you the bigger picture, how to use MEPS not just to get in, but to set yourself up for benefits that last a lifetime. If you watch until the end, if you watch this video until the end, you will walk away with an insider playbook most recruits never see. On this channel, I show you how 3 years can buy you a lifetime bag. So subscribe. Let us start with the truth about recruiters. Recruiters are salespeople. They have quotas. Their job is to bring people in. That does not mean they are liars. Some are honest, some care deeply, but at the end of the day, their mission is to get you to sign. Keep that in mind. And because of that, there are things they do not highlight, things they downplay, and things they never mention at all. When I sat down with my recruiter, he painted a picture: steady pay, benefits, pride, adventure, and all of that is true. But what he did not explain was how MEPS works. MEPS is where the military really decides who you are on paper. It is where your background, your health, and your aptitude get turned into numbers. And those numbers decide your future. So let me walk you through the secrets one by one. Secret number 1, your ASVAB score is leverage. At MEPS, you will take the ASVAB, the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. It sounds like just a test, but it is more than that. Your score is your currency. High scores open the best jobs, the best bonuses, the best training. Low scores limit you. Keep that in mind. Recruiters will often say, do not worry, just pass. But if you treat the ASVAB like a driver test, you are playing yourself, because here is the reality. The difference between a 40 and a 70 is not just bragging rights. It is the difference between pushing paperwork in a dead-end MOS or unlocking careers that translate directly into 6-figure civilian jobs after. I will give you an example. A friend of mine scored just enough to qualify. He ended up in a combat MOS. Nothing wrong with that. But when he got out, he had no certifications, no degree, no civilian skill set. Another friend studied hard, scored high, and qualified for an IT MOS. When he left, he already had security clearance, experience, and certification. Today, he makes 6 figures in tech. Same MEPS, different preparation. That is the power of the ASVAB. Secret number 2, honesty matters, but strategy matters too. Let me explain. At MEPS, they will grill you on your medical history, every injury, every prescription, every surgery. The recruiters may even tell you, do not mention that. It will just slow you down. And here is the catch. Lying can disqualify you later. If the VA finds out you hide something, you might lose benefit. I say might. But being strategic is different from lying. If you twist your ankle once in high school, you do not need to give a dramatic life story. If you had mild asthma as a kid, but it never came back, you do not need to exaggerate it. Be honest, but keep it simple. The key is to disclose what is real without sabotaging yourself with unnecessary drama. And here is the bigger secret. The medical records you submit now at MEPS can come back years later when you file for VA benefits. If you downplay an injury now, it may not show up in your file later. That means less evidence, fewer benefits. I did not know that at the time. I learned it the hard way. So if you take nothing else from this video, take this. Document what matters at MEPS. You may thank yourself a decade later when you are collecting thousands a month for service-connected conditions. Secret number 3. MEPS is about more than passing. Most recruits walk in thinking the goal is just to get cleared. Please, let me in. That's what they say. That is the wrong mindset. The goal is not just to pass. It is to position yourself. Here is what I mean. At MEPS, you will go through vision tests, hearing tests, medical exams. You will answer endless questions. Most people treat it like a blur, but those exams are the baseline. They are the starting point of your military records, and that record will follow you for life. Why does that matter? Because when you file for VA disability letter, the VA will compare your conditions to your MEPS file. If you had perfect knees at MEPS but knee pain later, that is service connected already, right? If you already had knee problems at MEPS, the VA may deny your claim. That baseline is the line in the sand. Keep that in mind. Nobody told me that. Nobody told me that those quick checkups could decide whether I will qualify for thousands in benefit years later. Recruiters focus on getting you cleared, but the real secret is pay attention to your MEPS file because it will decide your future. Secret number 4, bonuses are not guaranteed. Your recruiter might tell you about enlistment bonuses, 5,000, 10,000, maybe more. And yes, those bonuses exist, but here's the truth. They depend on your ASVAB score, your job choice, and the needs of the military at that moment. I have seen recruits work into MEPS expecting 10 grand, only to be told the bonus is gone, the job is closed, or the offer changed. I have seen others accept jobs they did not want just to chase the bonus, and years later, they regret it. The lesson is this: do not let a shiny number distract you from the bigger picture. The biggest bonus is not $5,000 today, okay? Leave it. It's a small change. That's small change. It is the lifetime benefit you earn. It is the disability pay. It is the GI Bill. It is the VA healthcare. Those add up to millions of dollars over a lifetime. Focus on positioning yourself for those, not just the quick cash. Secret number 5, MEPS is not the end. When you walk out of MEPS with that sworn-in paper, it feels final. But here is the truth. MEPS is just the beginning. You can renegotiate everything, almost everything. You can ask for different MOS options. You can even walk away if the contract does not make sense to you. Recruiters do not always tell you that, right? They want you to sign fast, and so they will keep pressuring you. But you have more power than you think. Until you ship, nothing is final. Until you ship to basic training, nothing is final at all. Don't let people lie to you. Do not be afraid to pause, to ask questions, to get everything in writing. Because once you sign and ship, the contract is yours for years. Now, let's zoom out and show you what all of these really means. MEPS is not just about getting in. It is about setting up your future. The tests, the exams, the paperwork, the contract, these are not just hurdles. They are leverage points. They decide your jobs, your bonuses, your benefits, and eventually your civilian career later on. If you prepare, if you study, if you document, if you ask questions, if you join my community, the first link in the description, you can walk out of MEPS positioned for success. If you do not, you can walk out locked into years of struggle. That is why I call this what the recruiters never told me, because recruiters talk about pride and paychecks, but they do not talk about leverage. They do not talk about documentation. They do not talk about how the choices you make at MEPS echo 10 years later when you are filing VA claims, applying for jobs, or buying a house. So let me give you a bigger play. If you are about to go to MEPS, prepare like it matters, because it does. Study for the ASVAB like your future depends on it. Be strategic in medical. Pay attention to your baseline health. Ask questions about MOS options. Do not rush into a bonus that disappears in months when the real money is in benefit that lasts decades. And remember this, MEPS is not the end. It is the beginning of the playbook. And if you use that playbook wisely, you can turn 3 years of service into a lifetime of freedom. I'm 34 now, and I can look back at MEPS with clarity. It was confusing, it was stressful, it felt like just paperwork at the time. But now I see it for what it was, the starting line of a race I did not even know I was running. And because I did not know the secrets, I left some opportunity on the table. Lucky for me, it was not a lot of opportunity, but there are still some opportunity that I left. That is why I'm sharing this with you, so you do not make the same mistakes. If this helped you, subscribe for more plays that turn service into freedom. Drop a comment, anything, any question that you have, and I will answer them. Watch this video on the screen that YouTube thinks will be helpful to you. Thank you for watching till the end. Peace. I'm gone.